Hi, this is David Comfort from Democracy Action Network. Did you know that political violence has become such a normalized part of our discourse that it's often slotted into pre-existing narratives before the facts even come out? Here's what's actually wild. Just hours after the tragic shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, political figures were already assigning blame without any evidence. It's a stark reminder of how quickly we can lose sight of compassion in the face of tragedy. What's honestly crazy is how quickly some Republicans, like Congresswoman Nancy Mace, pointed fingers at Democrats, claiming they own the violence. Ever notice how this kind of rhetoric is less about accountability and more about fueling division? It's a classic tactic. When something goes wrong, find a scapegoat. In a time when we should be uniting against violence, we see leaders like Trump and his allies exploiting this tragedy to launch a full-on assault on the left. In his response, Trump didn't call for healing. Instead, he blamed radical left rhetoric for the violence, ignoring the fact that political violence has victims across the spectrum. What if I told you that this isn't just about one incident? It's part of a broader trend where political leaders use violence as a tool to consolidate power, rather than to address the root causes of the issue. Take a look at the shouting match that erupted in Congress. Instead of a moment of unity, we saw Republicans demanding more than a silent prayer for Kirk, while Democrats pointed out the lack of acknowledgment for victims of a mass shooting that occurred the same day. This is the absurdity of our current political climate, where empathy is sacrificed at the altar of partisanship. The implications are profound. Influential figures like Laura Loomer are calling for a crackdown on leftist organizations, framing them as national security threats. This is a dangerous precedent. It's reminiscent of the political purges of the past, invoking fear rather than fostering dialogue. In a nation that prides itself on freedom of expression, these calls for censorship and retribution are not just unfair, they're a direct threat to our democratic values. We need to ask ourselves, how do we move forward? Can we find a way to engage in constructive dialogue rather than resorting to blame and division? As we reflect on these events, let's remember that the real challenge lies in addressing the root causes of political violence and fostering a culture of understanding instead of vengeance. Together, we can work towards solutions that prioritize unity and compassion over division. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. It would help out a lot. Peace.